The classic Trans Am is a very popular car today of the 1970s muscle car era. At its conception, the time of muscle cars, cheap, plentiful gas, 70-mile-an-hour speed limits, and Detroit-backed megabuck racing teams? Come on, very cool time. A small group of whiz-kid engineers brought to life the Trans Am. They're at Pontiac Special Projects Group. Herb Adams was the key guy, the go-to guy at this group. Herb's superiors, Will Collins, John DeLorean, and Steve Malone thought that the Firebird should have its own image maker, such as the GTO was to the Tempest line. Adams' initial attempts came in the form of the Pontiac Firebird Sprint Turismo. They had a vision of a super Thunderbird, a super Firebird. They had the hopes and dreams of sticking a high-revving 303 engine in one of these little Firebirds, cranking out like an amazing 485 horsepower. That's a lot of ponies. But the realities of the corporate world hit them like a 2-ton brick. The corporate cheeseheads said, no, that's too much money. We're not gonna spend that type of money. Are you crazy? So they compromised, settled for a smaller motor, the 305. And then came the amazing launch in mid-1969, and it hit belly first. It was a flop. It was a flopper. It did not do good. People shunted it. They were like, nope, no, not a cool car. But it was. It really was. It was born to lose, you know? If the Trans Am's conception was a struggle, then its birth was an absolute disaster. The press scoffed. The public ignored it. And you know, if you're being honest, if you're looking at those old sales numbers, it looked like death. It looked like the car was done from the get-go. In its first short model year, 1969 to 1970, a pitiful 697 units were made. You know, less than 700. They didn't even get to the 700 mark. Nobody wanted this car. It was so bad, the bean counters were like, should we just pull the car? Should we just make it like a package title? This ain't working. But you know what? Under the skin, underneath it all, that special projects group, those young men created an amazing car, a truly awesome car. It was not only just a muscle car, but it was a muscle car that can handle performance and muscle. Oh my goodness! It was fundamentally ahead of its time, giving it a standard handling package, but gave it special suspension bushings and variable ratio power steering, so it actually handled pretty good. While other muscle cars were really only worried about quarter-mile ETAs, the Trans Am was already calculating G-forces. This was like kind of a revolutionary concept in the muscle car world. The dogged determination of Bill Collins saved the Trans Am. He went to bat for the Trans Am. He fought for this thing in management meetings, really showing its merits. And it's a good thing he did, because the Trans Am second edition came out. That Firebird was looking even more beautiful the second time around. And with its improved motor, the production numbers really spiked. The 1970 year saw over 3,000 units built. The early 70s brought the gasoline apocalypse. Insurance premiums skyrocket. Compression ratios plummeted. They're pedaling out, you know, more lower octane gas. And the politics, they were just tightening things down, making more restrictions, putting the yoke around all of our necks with the 55-mile-an-hour speed restrictions. But you know, it was huge what the government was doing. They were really imposing some hefty laws, bumper restrictions. They're even going to get rid of convertibles at this time. They had gone bonkers with power. This was the era of expensive gas, downsizing engines, and taking away the everybody person fun. And this was the moment the Trans Am should have died. But instead, it became a superstar. 1973 saw a loyal group of supporters that brought two game-changing elements to the table. They had some bargaining chips. The Super Duty 455 Mega Motor. Mega Motor. Mega Motor. Only about 252 of these were built back in 73 and over 900 in 74. So boom, very nice. Big motors out there, big. And the bigger engine really brought the Trans Am's popularity up. And also, we can't forget the fire rooster, the big old Firebird on it. That decal sparked a revolution with people. They loved it. I remember my father had a special editions black and gold one. Oh, that thing was cool with the T-tops. I always wish I could get one like that. Designed by John Chanella and Bill Davis. It was a risky, bold move, but you know, the public loves it. And this was a graphic trend that everybody got onto. The result was sales exploding throughout the 70s. The Trans Am was once a languishing nameplate. It defied the odds and became a massive cultural icon, a huge note in the automotive industry. So I think it's easy to say, long live the Trans Am. If you guys like what we do here, please subscribe, give it a little thumbs up, put some words in the word box. I always like to put my eyeballs on them. But like I always say, I'll see you on the flip side. Until próxima, ciao ciao.
You gotta order 1,000,000 pizzas, and then I gotta roll around in them pizzas, and that's the story about how I turn into a giant pizza.